I'd like to talk to you about a menace threatening humanity. It's happening right here, in our very homes, and corrupting the lives of our loved ones.
Maybe they're friendly.
Hello and welcome to this latest episode of the Electronic X podcast. It's everyone's favourite episode, the one where we talk about the month of 1985, 95, 2005, 2015, and this time we're talking about September because we are in the month of September. Joining me, as usual, for one of these is Paul Mahonaghan.
Hello, welcome everyone. And now I've got Earth, Wind and Fire, September, stuck in my head.
I did too, as soon as they said it was September. Yeah. Yes, I just want to be quick shout out to all the new listeners who've joined us recently. Had a massive surge in listeners, so hello. Thank you for listening. Hope it's not too shit. And you stick around, maybe we can go bowling or something. I don't know what podcast hosts do. Yeah.
Don't know.
So yeah, very encouraging anyway, the numbers.
Drink.
So,
Just
Paul,
drink.
yeah,
Yes, sorry.
we could drink. So, Paul,
Yes.
this month is going to be absolutely packed.
Yes.
There is so much to talk about.
I've seen the plan. Oh my God.
It took me a long time to do the notes for this, as there's a lot. And so we'll just go straight into it then. In 1985, with the movies, 2 movies released this month that are worth talking about. First one being Desperately Seeking Susan, which was the first movie that Madonna had a starring role in, alongside Rosanna Arquette, Aidan Quinn. Also getting their first bigger performances were John Turturro, Giancarlo Esposito, and Laurie Metcalf, of all people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I've never watched this. I love like the Madonna stuff of this era, like we've talked about many, many times. And in the music videos, I see clips of this film. And even when we've had it in at HMV and it's come in and it's been reissued, and I go, I should really watch that film because it looks cheesy, but yeah. I've never heard bad words about it.
Years ago. I watched it many years ago. It's kind of it's a decent movie. I wouldn't say it's one you have to watch if you don't feel like it. It's a you're not going to miss anything if you don't watch it. But it is quite a good movie. Aidan Quinn, do you remember he was like the leading man for romance movies for years?
Yeah. A good-looking fella.
I found him odd to look at, to be honest. I never quite saw the appeal of Aidan Quinn. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's just not my type. But yes,
No.
we don't really need to go too much into the movie, I don't think, do we? Because you haven't seen it.
No.
So
No, it's not one I'm up on at all.
But yes, Rosanna Arquette is absolutely fantastic in this. Madonna, she's decent for like her first movie outing. But yes, it's a good movie. It's just not one I would say is a necessary must watch, let's say. So moving on then to our second movie of the month, and that is Cocoon. And Paul, you will be shocked to learn that the characters in this were our age.
I know, and it still depresses me anytime. Like, I've not watched Cocoon since being a kid, mainly because it creeps me the fuck out. It really, really does. It's just the whole idea of it. And I think probably the last time I watched it, I must have been about 10. So I'm going back 30 odd years. But did you not just think it was quite scary? I know it's not a horror film, but it's like
weird because it's about the aliens, right? And they're in it's
and
then when the aliens are revealed,
cocoons.
It's kind of I mean, this movie then, so it's directed by Ron Howard. Some of the biggest. So Steve Guttenberg was the youngest person in this movie, I think. And then you've got people like Wilfred Brimley, Brian Dennehy, Jessica Tandy, You know, all these people whom I assumed were, you know, my grandparents' age when watching this. But yeah,
But it's a really good cast. Like Brian Dennehy, he was a huge star around this time. So was Guttenberg as well, and
yeah,
people knew Wilford Brimley as well. You know, even though we said like he was like say our age, even though he looked about easily in his 60s. Do you know what I mean? He looked like
these
your granddad.
70s. Yeah.
You know,
Although thinking
it's
about it, my
it's odd.
grandparents in the 80s were actually in their 40s.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I think
suppose.
most of our generation's grandparents would have been like in the 80s around 40.
Yeah,
Because you've got
because
to
people
remember
are
after,
kids younger.
yeah, they did, yeah, much younger. So
Yeah.
that's
No
probably
telly in
why.
them days.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yes, Cocoon was a movie about these alien pods that were inside a swimming pool that made the older people, when they swam in this water, um, feel younger.
Mhm.
But it got to the point where the actual aliens, because you've seen it, I've seen it, we can talk about it. I don't
Yes.
want to ruin the split sequences in case you do want to watch it. Um, and yeah, the aliens start to die um,
Hmm.
because their life force is getting taken away by the old people. Yeah, so it's quite a sad and dark movie, to be honest. But yeah,
Yeah, and they did a sequel, probably only a couple of years after
did
it.
they?
Yes,
I
Cocoon 2
had
The
no
Return.
idea they did
Cocoon
another
2
one.
The Return. Yeah. There's
Oh
a
my
sequel.
goodness. Well,
Check it
there we
out,
go.
kids.
I had no idea about that. Okay, so let's
There
move
you
on to
go.
music. We do have to do this at a very quick pace tonight.
Yes.
So no monologuing, Monaghan.
No, I won't. I
Um,
won't today.
okay, cool. So moving on to music then. In singles, we have one number one single for the whole of this month. And it is an absolute stinker. And it is Dancing in the Streets by David Bowie and Mick Jagger.
I liked this as a kid. I know it was
I
number
did
one for
not.
ages, but
Even as a
yeah,
kid,
it's
I was
just
like, this is
cheese.
shit. This is shit. I was like, I like Bowie and I like and I like Jagger. What is going on?
So
Um,
it's like the opposite to cheesy peas, like cheese, where you love cheesy peas, like Jagger, like Bowie, but you love. Oh no, actually, you don't love it at
you won't.
all.
You'll hate Dancing in the Streets. It's absolutely fucking atrocious. So let's move on then to
Yes,
albums.
move on. Yes.
Now, number five is still in there for the first week of the month,
Yeah.
as we mentioned last time. So go back and listen to last month's
Yes.
episode if you want to hear all about Now Five.
And the
Um,
tracks.
and the tracks. We did go through the tracks. So
Yeah.
then we have Like a Virgin by Madonna, which obviously has the title song Like a Virgin in there, as well as Material Girl, Into the Groove. You know, so
Mhm.
some bangers in there.
We've talked about Madonna loads, and we both
Yeah,
agree, like the 80s and 90s Madonna cannot be beaten.
yeah. And obviously, it was produced as well by Nile Rodgers. You know,
Oh,
he's
right.
done a lot
Okay.
of good work as well. You know, with like David Bowie and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, a great producer.
great producer. Next, we have Hounds of Love by Kate Bush, which again is an absolutely fantastic album with Running Up the Hill, Cloud Busting, Hounds of Love, The Big Sky.
Yep.
Yeah, all absolute classics
Yes.
and very listenable today. I've even found like my children like this album. You know, if it ever
That's a
comes on,
brilliant month. A brilliant month for music. You know,
yeah,
absolutely
especially with Now
fantastic.
Five still hanging in there. Yeah. So let's move on to the television because we do actually have television shows to talk about this month as well. First up, we have on the 1st of September on BBC One, Howard's Way. Do you remember Howard's Way, Paul?
I remember it. Never, ever, ever watched it. Couldn't even tell you it was about. Probably a guy called Howard and how he does it his way. Maybe.
Well, no, not really. So this
No.
was
Okay.
the series was set sort of so it's about like these posh, rich, wealthy people who owned yachts and businesses in this
Tories.
community. So
Sorry.
it was a drama. There was lots of affairs, lots of wrongdoings,
Yes.
and yes, with rich people. My parents used to watch it, and I used to have it like on in the background whilst I was playing with my Transformers or something.
So a
Um,
posh Coronation Street.
yeah, Yeah, pretty much, I'd say, yeah. But
Yeah.
yes, my
No, I'm not
parents
going to watch
enjoyed
that.
it. I don't understand why they did, but there we go. Next, then we have In Sickness and in Health. You've got to have seen this, surely.
I've only ever seen clips. It's not the type of thing I really liked, but as I've got older, I realised obviously he was, Warren Mitchell, who played, was he
Alf
playing Alf
Garnett,
Garnett in this? Yeah.
yeah,
And it's
because this
like,
is
obviously,
the
it's like,
follow-up show to for Till Death Do Us Part.
yeah, yeah,
But yes, that is a which is this was actually him sort of becoming more tolerant. So into Death Do Us Part, he wasn't a tolerant person at all, Alf
mm,
Garnett. And this series was, I believe, like I think I remember reading an interview with Warren Mitchell that they wanted to make it so that Alf Garnett wasn't sort of evangelized,
yeah,
as this
yeah,
person who was full of intolerance. So they wanted to create this for the follow up where they surrounded him like with different ethnicities and homosexuals and stuff like that, so that he would
mm,
become more accepting
yeah,
of these people. And over time, he was still a cranky asshole, but he became more and more tolerant to those around him. And if you see anything with Warren Mitchell now, he always says, like, never be Alf Garnett. It's like,
yeah,
be
yeah.
what Alf Garnett becomes, not who he was, and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's so it was a very good show. It was very funny as well, but having watched some clips recently, there's still some stuff where I'm like, I know he's like trying to be tolerant, but it still really gets to me a little bit. I'm like, yeah. So that was also on BBC One on the 1st of September. So both those same day. So pretty good.
Yeah.
On the 3rd of September, same channel on BBC One, we had Telly Addicts with Noel Edmonds,
That
which was
surprised me
his.
it was this early.
Really, I thought it was
No,
older. I was surprised
no, because I remembered the
because I
board
barely
game and a
remember
mate
it.
getting it.
Yeah, because I do remember getting my parents used to buy a family board game every Christmas.
Yeah, yeah,
One of
as
the
you did
we
back
did get
then.
the Telly Addicts one as well. And yes, this was this ran for quite a few years. In fact, it was like I think it was like over 200 episodes.
It must have been going for like, it must have done this for about 5 or 6 years, going up to like the house party era.
Yeah, I think it ran until I can't remember. I think it ran until like 96 or something.
Yeah,
So
that long.
overlapped.
Wow,
It must
that's
have
that's
overlapped with
impressive.
House Party. But yes, this was Noel
That's
Edmonds
really,
doing a
really
game
impressive.
show, and they would do clips and stuff about stuff that was on television, really. And yeah, sort of, yeah, it was decent. They had some good guests on it and things like that. It was cool. I enjoyed watching it of an evening with my parents.
That's absolutely
Cool.
insane that it started 40 years ago.
I
Wow.
know, I know. And Noel Edmonds hasn't aged a day.
It ended in 1998.
98.
That's insane.
What,
98. I've just
96?
had a quick look now.
Oh
Final
man.
series 1998. That's mental. To be going for that long as a show. I know, obviously. I mean, that's almost 15 years. Well, 13 years of Telly Addicts.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
So moving on then, we have on the on ITV. This is sorry, I was going to say BBC One again on the 2nd of September. So going back in time a day, we have She-Ra and the Princess of Power, which was the spin-off of the He-Man Masters of the Universe cartoon series.
Yeah, I watched this
I watched it.
because I was mad on He-Man, and to have another show in that universe, I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, and obviously she's his sister, who was then sent to a different planet to
Yeah.
separate them so that they would be safe. Didn't work out, did it?
No, I mean, you had Secret of a Sword quite, like the feature film, quite,
Yes.
soon. But I thought it was great as well because obviously you had like new baddies. Everyone knew He-Man and Skeletor, but to have like Hordak and quite a few of the other, I can't think of any more of his minions. He had one guy with buggy out eyes. He looked like a bit of a reptile type thing.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, because I had the toy of him. But
So,
yeah, it was good to see, a new thing. And back then, you'd eat it up straight away. You'd be like, oh, fantastic, more He-Man universe spin-off. When stuff like that didn't really happen very often.
no,
It's not like now where you get a Marvel film and you've got spin-off after spin-off.
and we didn't have a strong female character either,
No,
because
no chance.
most stuff that was aimed at girls would be like the stuff like the Care Bears and things like that. They were predominantly aimed at
Yeah,
girls our age at that time, right?
you didn't
Even
get
though I
anything. You
loved the
didn't get
Care
any
Bears so
warriors.
much. But yeah, then we got She-Ra, and she was this badass, and in the movie where they team up, she's the one who saves the day.
Mm,
It's so it is. Yeah, I have a lot of time for that, and I did see the one they've made for Netflix a few years ago.
I didn't watch that. No.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite good. I would recommend it. But yeah, She-Ra, Princess of Power, 2nd of September 1985. Then on ITV still, we have the 14th of September, Gummy Bears, or The Adventures of the Gummy Bears, which was a Disney cartoon featuring these little bears who lived inside a tree. And there was this, like, I can't remember the name of the bad guy, but he was like a really big guy with like a little goatee beard. And it was
Yeah.
yeah, and there was like big orcs and things like that who were trying to get the gummy berry juice from the gummy
Yeah,
bear.
because it could make them bounce, and
Yeah.
I think it would just basically bounce. I don't think it really did anything else for them. But obviously, it was
Um,
just a secret of gummy berry juice that they've been hiding for years.
yeah.
But also the soundtrack is absolutely brilliant. We always talk about the 80s cartoon soundtracks, but
Oh, this
Gummy
one was
Bears is
banging.
absolutely
Yeah.
yeah, it's brilliant. I've played it to Theo quite a few times.
Yeah, I've done it. I've played it to my kids as well. One of my favorite character was the big one, Tommy, who was voiced by Lorenzo Music, who
All right,
obviously voiced
okay. Was that the
Garfield. And
blue bear?
no, yes, he was
No.
blue.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. He
Yeah.
was blue, wore a brown shirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously Lorenzo Music was Garfield, and he was also Peter Venkman in the Ghostbusters cartoon.
Ah,
And
yes.
then
Yeah, we
Bill
mentioned him
Murray
before.
played Garfield in the Garfield movie. So it was like,
There we go.
here we go.
I've still got Gruffy at my mum's, with
Which
the
one was he?
grumpy one.
Was he the? Yeah, I was going to say, was he the
The
grumpy one?
grumpy one, yeah, with the green hat. So I've still got that over at my mum's. And I remember, like, there was a guy who, a corner, who sometimes, like, he's one of those people who you weren't, like, really good mates with, but at times you be on bikes on the estate or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, well, I'll just got to nip in and go and get my bike. And he had every single gummy bear plush in the window. So, I was like, oh, God, yours is like the gummy bear house, because you've got all these gummy bears lined up on your front room windowsill. Sounds a
Yeah.
bit weird now
Were
saying
they
it
the
out
little
loud.
plastic ones?
No, they were plushes, quite big.
I never
Well,
saw
they're
any pictures
about.
when I was a kid.
I'll have to right next time I go to my mum's. I'll have to take a picture of the Gruffy one and show you the
Yeah.
size because it's probably about 8 or 9 inches. Sat down.
Oh
You know,
wow.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Also on
Anyway,
ITV, we've got on the 16th of September, we have The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, which was a television adaptation by the Sue Townsend
mhm.
books. Did you watch this?
No, I know. I always used to see the books in the library, and I always was told, "Oh, you got to read Adrian Mole. Oh, it's so good, it's so funny." And then I remember, like seeing the TV show starting. It
Yeah.
must have been going for a little while because I probably like really got into me reading, like probably over half, a few years on. And you'd see him and go, "Don't fancy it at all." It was all about fantasy and swords and shields and stuff back then, rather than you know adolescent troubles
Yeah, you
or
see, this
whatever Adrian gets up to.
I was having this conversation the other day with my partner. So she was saying that she preferred watching all of these action movies and all this sort of stuff. She didn't like stuff like Dirty Dancing or even like something like Adrian Mole. So that was why we brought it up, because I brought up Secret Diary of Adrian Mole.
Hmm.
And she is emotionally less mature than I am.
Right.
Whereas I'm quite emotionally mature because I used to watch stuff like Secret Diary of Adrian Mole. I used to watch, Dirty Dancing, Pretty
Mm.
Woman, all this stuff when I was a kid, right, as a young boy, and I would watch those over the action movies. So
Yeah.
I can see why my dad thought things were going to turn out differently for me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, and this is the thing, right? You got to then wonder. Remember when we were like teenagers, and the girls would, girls wouldn't be, when we were 16, the girls would be after someone who was like 20,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and that's because they were so much more emotionally mature than we were. They were like, oh,
Yeah,
really?
no, of course,
Um,
of course. I
and
still remember getting a girl to come back. Well, a girl came back one dinner. Obviously, happy to get up to some fun. But
yeah,
instead,
sure.
I showed her my Donkey Kong Country skills on the SNES.
Okay.
So yeah,
Tell you
she
what,
never came around again after that. There we go. Bit sad. But
yes, anyway,
honestly, she should have watched me.
yes, we should have also talked about Secret Diary of Adrian Mole very quickly. So it's about a
Yeah,
boy
sorry. Yeah,
growing up
go
and
for
he
it.
writes into his diary at the end of the day about what's going on. You
Yes.
see what happens during the day and what happens in his life. The guy looks a little bit like what would happen if Michael Gove and Jacob Rees-Mogg had a child.
Fucking hell. Oh,
If you can picture that,
Jesus.
listeners. And yeah, it was a very, very good like kid drama. Bit funny as well. It was good. I also read the books as well, so I was all over that. So I think that leads us to the end of television, and we can move on to
Yes.
games. And we have one game to speak about this month, and that is the amazing Elite that
Yes.
came out on the
Poss-
N64, on the C64, and the ZX Spectrum.
the N64, and no one could play it for years, for about another decade. But no, yeah,
It
Elite.
originally came out a year prior in 1984 on other formats, but because I couldn't
Yes,
find anything,
BBC.
yes, on the BBC Micro. But I brought it up because there wasn't anything else, and I thought most people probably played it on the C64 or the ZX Spectrum. I was playing it on the ZX Spectrum, developed by David Braben and Ian Bell. I worked for David Braben, and
Oh,
I interviewed Ian Bell as he tried to apply for a position at a 3D rendering software company that I worked at.
that's
I
insane.
didn't give him the job, unfortunately. He was not actually good enough, which is really weird because he was one of my heroes. And because I saw his CV and I was like, I have to interview him. I'm going to hire him. And I'm going to be able to say I've worked with both of the creators of Elite. But yes, Elite was a fantastic, it was an open world game before
Yeah,
these were really a thing. You would fly your ship, you would go to different planets and stuff, but you would never land. It would just be you just go there and do trading and stuff. But then you had space combat as well, which was absolutely fantastic. My mum made up a cardboard cockpit for me, and we'd put that over the desk and the chair where the Spectrum and the black and white TV was set up.
yeah.
And yeah, and I would sit in there and pretend I was in a spaceship playing Elite, and yeah, it was amazing. And then to get to actually work on Elite Dangerous as well was like an
That's
absolute dream come true.
pretty impressive. I only really bothered with Elite recently because we covered it in Pixel Addict. It's like one of our
Yeah,
best-selling issues because we interviewed Ian Bell for the magazine, and I asked him what's been the saddest. But no, when it comes down to it, I mean, like Elite was massive. I mean, it was on the cover of issue 1 of Zap 64 as well. So I'm
yeah,
glad that he chose this, even though it's like the C64 version and Specky was 85.
yeah,
Because they're still so highly thought of. They really, really are.
yeah.
And then again, when you've obviously worked on Elite Dangerous, again, I was trying to get hold of David Braben, so I actually rang up, Frontier, the company, and I had to explain who I was. It's like, you've sent us emails. Who are you again? It's like, oh, Paul, I edit a magazine, and be like, a magazine? It's like, Jesus, a
You
magazine. What
phoning from
year
the
is this?
past?
I know. Yes. I've got into one of your Elite spaceships and gone to a different time zone. Oh Jesus! No, so yeah, it's weird. That's the only time I've actually rung up a games company for this. I just prefer face-to-face meetings. But yeah, yeah. The fact is, 40 years on, that's still one of the biggest games ever. They're still doing updates for it for things like older systems. So someone's been doing I think it was an Atari 800 XL version. Someone was working on, and then also someone did a version in teletext as well. So yeah,
Oh wow, I did not
it,
know
it
that.
makes a list for a reason. Yeah. So if you read Pixel Addict, I'll have to show you. I'll have to show you a couple of things
If I
because I
ever
learned quite a lot recently.
if there was ever a newsagent near me that stocked it, I would.
I know. I know. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go on to news. Real world
News,
news.
the real
Real
world
world
news.
news. The whole world's shit.
1st of September, French American. No, sorry, I'll go to trying to see my World War II. Tally ho,
Yeah.
troops, that sort of thing. 1st September, a joint French American expedition locates the wreck of the Titanic in the North Atlantic. So that was quite a big thing in the news to find
Definitely.
this ship that,
Yeah.
you know, the captain got a bit cocky and sank it. So 2nd of September, England win the 1985 Ashes series. That's cricket for anyone who doesn't follow cricket. I remember this being on the television
Hmm.
at my house as my dad made me watch cricket. And then I ended up, liking it by proxy. You know how you do. Just like how I like Phil Collins and like that. It's because my dad
But this
listened
is
to it.
when but this is, remember, this is a period before Sky. Cricket was always a massive thing. My granddad was obsessed with it,
Yeah.
and around this time, I was aware of the players. You had the Texaco cricket cards. If you go to the petrol station
Yes.
and fill up,
Yeah. I
they give
remember
you a
those.
few of those. I've still got some from my late granddad. But back then it was like people like Alan Lamb, Ian Botham. Oh God, I can't think of
Like
any others.
Gatling.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just seeing the card. So I got into it that by then because I'd be like going, oh, I've got a card of him, and things. And yeah, back then cricket. I know cricket's massive now, but I think because it was on normal telly, everyone
Yeah.
was
You would be
up
able
on
to,
it.
everyone could watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that was the
yeah,
thing. When
exactly.
it was on as well, it was like the rest of the day.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
on
that'd be
for
it.
hours.
Yeah.
And my dad hogging the TV in the house and he'd be like, down the spectrum.
Yes. And you didn't have phones then or anything like
No,
that. It was just a
no.
case of we're watching this for 10
Or
hours.
go and play a game with my toys, and
Yeah.
try and make something up with my imagination. Yeah, so 4th
Anyway,
of September, the first photographs and films from the Titanic's wreckage were taken. So they found it on the 1st, and by the 4th, they had got pictures and video of it out, so the world could see it, which
but you're
was
not going to take your time on that. You'd be like, oh my God. You think how many years that's taken. Well, it says there,
yeah.
73.
I think
Um,
they'd have to get all the stuff down there, make sure that everything's right, wouldn't they? So they probably had some test runs where cameras and things weren't working and stuff. So because it's quite deep
yeah.
when they went
Yeah.
down. So on the 6th of September, something for our listeners, they will probably remember if they lived in some of these places. So the first Toys R Us opens in the UK in the town or cities. I don't know if they're towns or cities. Woking, Wood Green, and Basildon.
All down south.
All down south. Yeah, yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
You
Did you
like
go
cricket
as a
and
kid?
Arsenal.
Yeah, I
Yeah, but
know.
not.
I
Yeah,
know. I know.
you're a
I'm a
southerner
false
trapped in a
northerner.
northern. Yeah, you're a southerner trapped in a
Trapped in a
northerner's
northern
body.
body. Yeah, I know. But it is trapped in over the body because I do like pies and pastry far too much.
So if you move down south, you'd be more refined.
Yeah, I know. No pasty balms there.
No, none of that. No, we
Oh.
don't put carbs inside carbs.
None of that double
Um,
carbing.
triple
Did
really,
you
because you've
go
got
to
two stuff.
Oh God. Did you go
Especially
to
if you've got
Toys R
meat
Us?
inside your pie. Yeah, I used to
Yeah,
go
I
to Toys R Us.
suppose. Yes, yeah, yeah.
So I didn't go to a Toys R Us though until we moved to Hampshire when I was 8. And when we were in Hampshire, where there was one in either Portsmouth or Southampton, I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
But we used to go there like once a month, just as a torture thing, because my dad, it would be like a Sunday that my dad would be like, "Oh, I better look after the kids for once." What can I do with them? I'll drive them to Toys R Us and not buy anything. So yeah, that would
Oh
be a
man,
thing. So we'll
that's
be there going. I'll be looking at like all the Transformers and the video games and like, oh my god, this is the best place on earth. I never want to
it's
leave.
it's funny, right? Because I think I started probably going about maybe 88 because my sister was a few years old, and we had one over in Warrington, which was our closest one. And back then it was like a new retail park. They had Children's World, which was mainly clothing for kids, which sounds just boring. And then also Toys R Us, and we'd have had something like Pizza Hut on there as well, you know. And my dad
Yeah,
used to take us because my mum didn't drive. So, and we still had like a local toy shop just up the road. And then you had things like Toy and Hobby, if anyone remembers that, which was quite good. And then you had your Toy Master chain as well, you know.
yeah. I remember Toy Master. We had a Toy
Yeah.
Master when I lived in Cambridge. It wasn't in Cambridge. Cambridge was very. We didn't have toy shops and stuff. Well, no, we did. Well, it wasn't really a toy shop as such. It was I think it was called Robert's Sale. I think the shop was called, and downstairs in the basement was like a massive toy section with like all the board games and video games down there as well.
Yeah, see,
So
I
that
don't remember video games coming in until it was just like the late 80s. But like what we had, you used to have like a lot of things like, you know, baby stuff and prams, and then you'd have like a toy area. And over my childhood years, the pram and like baby section would get smaller and the toys bigger. But obviously with Toys R Us, like you say, you'd walk in and there'd be one side of an aisle full of Transformers, you know, like, but like, for just for example, then quickly move on. But like when I used to collect Action Force slash GI Joe, you know, you'd be seeing all the characters in booklets or on the back of you know, your cardboard or whatever, and
mm,
it'd only be something like Toys R Us where they'd have so many there was a better chance for you to actually get that one figure you've been looking for, like, you know, some Cobra baddie or something like that.
yeah,
Um,
that was the
you know,
thing
and
because
that was exciting.
this is the thing. My grandparents, I don't know how, but every week they would buy me a Star Wars figure when I was a kid.
Mm,
Every week, so I ended up with like practically everyone. And
yeah.
yeah, and I had no idea where they got them from because I never saw them in the shops.
No, exactly. Exactly. You
Yeah,
know,
but we had a Toy Master in Newmarket, but they never went to Newmarket, so I don't know
but you
where they got
only
them from.
got, and this is still the same now. When you used to go to the toy shop, we'd have a brown, sorry, cardboard box, and it'd just be assorted Star Wars figures, assorted Action Force figures. And I remember like when we used to get the Action Force thing going, what day did you get your delivery? You'd be like, oh, I've just got to open it, and you'd be like going, kind of watch you open it. And God Almighty, I sound like one of those bloody nerds who watch the
You
YouTube
sound
videos
more
of
like a
unboxings.
pervert.
No, I don't kind of
Well,
watch you
can I
open
watch
it.
you open your box, mister?
I know, open your box. But no,
Rubbing your
then
thighs.
you'd have first dibs, trying to get these, you know, rare figures and just hope that one would be in there. But yeah, different times. Anyway,
Different times. Anyway, on the 11th of September, England in the football secure qualification to the 1986 World Cup with a 1-1 draw with Romania at Wembley, Glenn Hoddle being the England goalscorer.
okay, right,
Yeah,
cool.
so yeah, excellent. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back in the year 1995.
Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate tastes like chocolate never tasted before. Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate tastes like chocolate never tasted before.
Cadbury's Flake, the crumbliest, flakiest milk chocolate in the world.
Hello and welcome back to the year 1995. Let's go straight into the movies, shall we, Paul?
Yes, yes. Some of these I've seen, some of them I haven't.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Phil. Phil? Why did I call you Phil? Paul.
Sorry, I know because I'm looking at this list and this is not my bag, baby.
Austin Powers isn't for another couple of years.
I know. I wish it was.
No,
Hurry up,
sorry.
1987.
So, Braveheart. Have you seen Braveheart?
Nope, never watched it because I don't like
Oh
historical
my
epics. We
god,
had
it's not
this
really that.
conversation over
I know
Rob
we
White,
met Rob
over
Roy.
Rob Roy, Rob Roy even. Oh
Oh
my god, I
my
got
god.
all Roy Hodgson.
Okay, so Mel Gibson directs and stars in this movie where he plays William Wallace.
Yes,
Um, and yes, he does another one of these movies where he's against the English. And yeah, it's an odd film. It's like I say, it did much better than Rob Roy in terms of financial success and critical
yeah,
acclaim. It's not as good a movie as Rob Roy in any universe. This is not a better movie than Rob Roy. Rob Roy is a much better movie. Like, it's just a much better movie. Whereas Braveheart, I just think is absolute dog shit. And I'm not afraid to say it. So,
fair enough.
yeah, but
Never appealed to me.
when I was watching it in the cinema, now I was 16 when I saw this in the cinema,
Yeah,
and there were two people in front of me in the cinema, and they said, "We are going to England's last city," right? And even me as a 16-year-old knew where the last city was in England at that point. And they turned to each other and I didn't realise that they were Geordies until they spoke, and they looked at Newcastle. And I was like, oh, that's part of Scotland then. What are they? And then it like turns up, it's like no, York on the thing. I was like,
right,
I told you it was not Newcastle, silly bastards. But yes. Yeah. Love that.
right, okay.
How
Do you know
how
what?
did
The
you
amount
get?
of stories you have to do in Newcastle is
Well, I lived up there
actually
for years,
scary.
mate.
I
I
know, I know.
love
I
people,
figured
and I
this
love
now.
people so much up there.
Yeah,
It's my second home. I love the Geordies. I love the Northeast, except Sunderland. I only say that because I'm affiliated with Geordies, and my son's a Geordie, so I can't say anything
fair
nice.
enough.
But I do have lots of Mackem friends. Um, yeah, I don't have anything against them at all. That's me lying. Okay, so next we have Higher Learning. Have you seen?
No, I've seemed to remember this having a red cover. Um,
Yes. So
and yes, I think
it's
I
a
remember seeing this on video.
yeah, it's a very it's the third movie from John Singleton after he did Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice.
Yeah, yeah,
And this one has Jennifer Connelly, Ice Cube, Omar Epps, Michael Rappaport, Kirsty Swanson, and Lawrence Fishburne. Again, obviously, it's it's a John Singleton movie, so Lawrence has to be in
yeah.
there.
I recognise the cover from when I worked at what's it called? Global Video. They still had it on VHS. But yeah, never watched it. It's not. I don't think I've watched anything apart from Bad Boys of his. Did you say John Singleton? Do you say?
John Singleton, did he do Bad Boys?
No,
I
no,
don't
no. I
know.
thought you just said Bad Boys. Then sorry about that.
No,
Right.
I said Boys in the Hood.
Oh god, yeah, fine. No, I've never thought. I've never. Again, it's a film that I don't fancy. Stuff like
Okay.
this.
It's
No.
actually like Boys in the Hood is actually absolutely fantastic movie. And Higher Learning, I think, is better than Poetic Justice, but it's not as good as Boys in the Hood. But it is pretty good. You know, it's set in
Mm.
set in a university in California, I think. And yeah, and it's like Michael Rappaport plays this guy who becomes a Nazi, even though he used to be friends with one of the main characters. And he's quite lonely and stuff, and then it doesn't go very well. But yeah.
Okay.
But I thought it was pretty decent. I watched it at the time. I think I watched it in the cinema as I loved Boys in the Hood, so I thought I'm going to go and watch this.
Yeah.
And it had Jennifer Connelly in, who was my first love.
And Kirsty Swanson I've just seen, so it's got quite a good cast for the time with
Amazing
a
cast.
few people sort of like bubbling under who you expected a bit more from.
And Omar
And
Epps went on to be in ER. You know,
yeah, yeah,
so
I'll believe you on that, but I recognise him from other films.
yeah. So next, then we got The Bridges of Madison County, the Clint Eastwood Meryl Streep romance movie. I'm sure you've watched this, Paul.
Oh, so many times. No, never.
I've never watched this either, so let's move on. Apollo 13. Please say you've seen
No,
it.
never. Cause no. Because again, it's historical. So it just
Oh,
right. Because again,
Jesus.
I know it's
Sweet
Tom
zombie
Hanks and
Jesus.
stuff. It
Paul.
just does not intrigue me one bit at all.
But it's
You
so
know,
good. Again, we've got another Ron Howard movie here. And how
do you
can
know
you
what?
not
If I
want to?
looked how
How have
many,
you
right,
not
if I
watched
looked
it?
how many Ron Howard films I've seen, I bet it's about 5.
You need to watch Apollo
Honestly.
13. This is absolutely
Oh
it's a really good movie.
God,
I love
no!
this
It's
movie
just
so much.
at the time I was watching so many shitty horror films and
It's
the
not a horror
likes of
movie.
Van Damme stuff. No, I know it's not a horror movie, but I'm just saying that's what I'd spend my time watching. If I was watching something, it'd always
Yeah.
be something like that, rather than be Oscar-winning this, that, and the other. Instead, it'd be like, yeah, but I've seen such a film or whatever, and
You
then I
are
miss
definitely the,
big films like this.
you are definitely the chalk to my cheese, aren't you?
I really am on this.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
really am.
Okay, so Apollo 13, absolutely fantastic. You've got Tom Hanks, you've got Kevin Bacon, you've got Ed Harris, you've got Bill Paxton, you've got who's the other fella? I can't think. Gary Sinise.
I do like Gary Sinise.
It's just these absolute powerhouse performances. Ed Harris is the best of the lot, like, hands down the best in this. And yeah, I'm just shocked, I tell you. So let's move on then to the next movie. Please say you've seen this one, Paul. The Quick and the Dead.
Yes, I have watched it,
Oh,
but a very long
thank
time
God.
ago because it's Sam Raimi.
Yes, it is Sam Raimi. He
Yes, there we
directs
go.
this
Yes, with
Western.
Sharon Stone and
Sharon
yeah, I know.
Stone.
I'm not
Yeah,
usually bothered about westerns unless it's spaghetti westerns that I loved. But this
yeah.
one I watched because of Sam Raimi.
Well, this one's fantastic. It's like I say, Sam Raimi directs Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio
Mm.
in an earlier role for him.
I'm about to
Lance
say early role for
Henriksen,
him.
Kevin Conway, the voice of Batman, is in
Oh
this.
God, yeah.
Yeah,
See, one hell of a cast.
yeah, it is. It's absolutely brilliant, and it is one of the best westerns.
The thing is,
Like,
they don't do that many westerns, so when they do, like so Unforgiven's around this time as well,
yeah,
and then I suppose things like, Wyatt Earp and stuff, they always got good reviews, and they were
yeah.
like, really, really loved because it's a genre that doesn't get, flogged to death.
Do you
But
know
yeah,
what's going to
stuff
be
like
really
this,
sad?
I'll watch. Go on, what?
Do you know what would be really sad?
Go
Is
on.
in 40 years, if I'm still doing this in my 80s, I won't be able to talk about Gene Hackman anymore
Why? Because you'll have
because it would have
forgot.
been way past. There'll be none of his movies being released at that point.
No, I know. Well, yeah,
So
no, gone
yeah,
then.
but Gene Hackman is absolutely incredible in this again. It's just like he's so bad, like, he's so evil.
He's never bad in any film anyway.
No,
Like I
he's
say, when
just
he
superb.
passed away, everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, Gene Hackman! Like best Gene Hackman films." And you just go boom, 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 boom.
I wouldn't be able to definitively say what is the best Gene Hackman movie
No,
either
I know, I
because
don't. But that's just it. Because obviously now you
I
got
mean the
things like First Connection. You
conversation,
got yeah,
yeah, is really up there, and I absolutely love Crimson Tide. Especially him in Crimson Tide and in Unforgiven.
and that's just
Yeah,
it. You're going off performances from
yeah.
like really big actors. So yeah,
And
no, what one that I
this
have
was
seen.
also this was also Russell Crowe before LA Confidential, so after Neighbours, but before LA Confidential.
Yeah, I think this is just after Romper Stomper.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Because
Yeah,
he'd
yeah,
done that, because obviously that was still like quite a breakout film for him,
yeah.
as a film actor. And then then he's away really after this, because you think 5 years on, he's doing Gladiator. That's it, 5 years from this. And bearing in mind, like you say, he's really starting to take off, and like LA Confidential's only 2 years after this. So he's away. He's away then, because like I say, he's not like one of the main names in this film, but look at who he's surrounded by. And again, Leonardo DiCaprio. So you're thinking in '97, you've got LA Confidential and Titanic.
Yeah, yeah.
And
When
there they are 2 years
when was
before.
Romeo and Juliet? Was that 96?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like DiCaprio's really good
Well,
run.
this was
Obviously,
before
starting
he.
with Critters 3.
Yeah, yeah. But
Oh.
this was when this was just before he went into the stratosphere of his stardom.
Yeah, he did it. Well, the thing, like with DiCaprio, you know, like he did a lot of good things, like because he did like Basketball Diaries around this time as well,
He did,
and
yeah.
then he'd done What's Eating
What's
Gilbert Grape,
great, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So yeah, he was like really his star was really taking off. I think it took off just slightly quicker than you know, God, I can't think of his name now. I just said Russell Crowe's, you know.
Yeah, I think Russell Crowe was a different because he was much older than
Oh God,
DiCaprio,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
that's what I mean. Yeah, miles different
And
in age.
but I mean, in terms of the appeal of Leonardo, a younger female
Yeah,
audience, and
yeah.
Russell Crowe was more your mum wanted to be a Russell Crowe, and your sister wanted to be a DiCaprio. So that's
Although
kind of how.
now it's quite funny because with DiCaprio having an eye for the younger ladies, yeah, they might be in with a shout
Yeah,
with a
the thing
50 odd
is,
year old
this
Leonardo
movie is too
DiCaprio.
old for him to date.
I know. Let me go. Right, let's move on.
Right, moving on then. Funny Bones. Have you seen this one?
Is this the Lee Evans one?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Right.
it's a
I
really fast-paced comedy drama. It's got like one of the
Oliver Platt?
best
No?
casts. Yeah, Oliver Platt, Jerry Lewis, Lee
I've
Evans.
watched this
Uh,
once
you've
on
got Oliver
release.
Reed in it as well.
Oh
And yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a really good movie. This one, I would say, like one of the stronger ones this month.
I've only ever watched this once, and I can't remember much about it, but I know I've seen it because I really, really liked Lee Evans. You know, like obviously
Yeah,
he's like
that's why I
he's
watched it.
fast paced stand up and stuff. So that's when I was
He's off
into
the
Lee
fucking lip.
Evans.
Like he's
It's what?
absolutely off the hook. He's off the hook in this movie, and
Yeah,
he has that
yeah.
northern accent for this one as well. And it's just, yeah, he's absolutely. You can't take your eyes off Lee Evans in this movie. And I think I read something with Oliver Platt like a few years ago, and he was saying that the best actor he's ever worked with was Lee Evans in terms of like his
Okay.
just the way that he was just in character, and you just knew that he was in character. You were just, oh Jesus, because apparently he's not exactly the same when he's not on camera. But he's not that nervous thing. But he wasn't, because it wasn't Lee Evans playing Lee Evans in this. He was very, yeah. Oh, it's just incredible. It's such a funny movie, but it is a bit. There's touching as well, though. This one.
You can get it cheap as well. I think I might actually pick that up and rewatch it because it's been a long time.
I would definitely.
Yeah.
And the last movie
Yeah.
released this month is Species. You've probably seen this because it was a horror
Yes, I
movie.
have. Yeah, I've not watched your award-winning films, your
Yeah.
Braveheart and
Well,
Apollo 13.
yeah.
But obviously, I've watched Naked Natasha. I can't even say her name. Natasha Hendrich, was it? I can never
Yes.
say her surname.
Hendrix, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I went to see this at the cinema. I don't remember much about it because me and
you
my
were busy
friends went.
wanking.
No,
Sorry.
not in the cinema. Come on.
Wrong type of cinema.
Yeah.
They
So
might start changing it out now. It's cruel.
me and my mates we went into Cambridge on a Friday evening to watch this. We bought some cans of Tennant Super
Oh
um,
God.
because we thought, oh, the volume of this means we'll be drunk quicker. And then we started drinking. We got very drunk. Went into the cinema to watch Species. And during the movie, one of my mates stood up and was like, I feel sick. And we tried to move to get him to go past, and he stopped, leaned forward, and hurled over this woman.
Oh my
And
God.
oh my God, her fella stood up. And when he stood up, I just kept watching him go higher and higher. I was like, and I'm pretty tall and big. I was like, oh my God, I'm scared now. And
Oh.
yeah, he was absolutely raging, and he grabbed my mate and took him to the fire exit, opened the fire exit, and chucked him outside the cinema.
Anyway,
That's my lasting memory of Species. So let's move on to music then. Single.
yes,
We got
let's go.
Country House by Blur as our first number one of the month.
Yep, said it
Again,
before.
we have,
Great.
You Are Not Alone by Michael Jackson. That's kind of creepy and nefarious now when you think about it.
I just find it boring. That sort of Michael Jackson stuff is just, yeah.
I was doing
no.
a paedophilia joke.
No, I know you were, and I went high
You went
after the
highbrow, I
wanking
went
joke.
low.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
After the wanking joke, there we
I
go.
like how we
We
do
balance
this.
each other out. I know we do.
Then the last single of the month was Boombastic by Shaggy.
I can't believe that's 30 years old.
I can't believe it was bloody single. Moving on to albums then. Boyzone with Said and Done, which I think was their debut album.
No, can't be.
95,
Not in 95.
I think
Would
it might
it?
be. I think so.
I don't know. Carrie's not here to ask. He was mad on
I don't
Boyzone
know.
at the time.
I'm not a Boyzone fan, and I don't really want to talk about their album.
No,
so next we
that's fine.
have The Charlatans with The Charlatans.
A band I'm getting more into now, because at the time I was never really that bothered, apart from like the very odd single track. But I find myself getting into it a bit more. So yeah.
Yeah, no, this is quite a good album, I think. Anyway, I really like Just When You're Thinking Things Over. I think it's a really good tune. Which was released, I think, before the album, maybe. But yes, very, very good album, that one. Then we have Zeitgeist from the Levelers.
Never got into the Levelers. I like 2 songs of theirs.
Yeah,
And just obviously, but they've got they still do gigs and stuff. I saw someone wearing a Levelers hoodie the other day, and yeah, it just reminds me of someone I went to college with who was absolutely obsessed with them.
Yeah.
Cool.
I remember a lot of my friends being into the Levelers, but I was not. And then we have The Great Escape by Blur with, Country House, Charms Man, Universal.
Yeah.
That album, which is fantastic. I love that album so much, and it's much better.
Yeah,
than
it's a good
anything
one,
most
definitely.
ever did.
Yeah, because I sort of went off Blur soon. Well, after the what was the album with Song 2 on after this? So
That
by about
was-
like late end of 90s, I was not bothered about them at all. But Country House, Great Escape, good album, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic album.
Hmm.
That was just called Blur, wasn't it? It was the self-titled album, the one with Song 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, because he had
can't.
Girls, Part Life, sorry. Modern Life. Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah. Okay, so next time we
Anyway.
move on to television. BBC One, 14th of September. They Think It's All Over.
I loved this.
I did as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was a TV show that was presented originally by Des Lynam on the radio, and then it
Was
became a
it?
television show.
I did not know.
Yeah, 2 years as a radio show.
Wow, I had no idea on that at all.
I did,
God.
because I listened to it on the radio. And then I saw that it was coming on television. I was like, oh. And then I was like, Nick Hancock. And I was like, why isn't that Des? But yes, Nick Hancock presented the show with team captains David Gower and Gary Lineker for the first nearly 10 years, I guess they were running. And you had the regular panelists at the beginning were Hurst. Lee Hurst is a bit of a wrong un these days. Roy McGrath. I have a Roy McGrath story.
Oh, go on. I liked Roy McGrath.
So he's an Arsenal fan as well. So
yes, yeah.
So Roy McGrath is a Cambridge boy like me, and I was in the Market Square in Cambridge. Only on the square, on the other side of the Market Square, there's a big clock on there.
Okay.
And I felt a tap on my shoulder as I was just about to spark up a cigarette, and I thought, oh, someone's going to ask for a cigarette. And this guy, I turned around, and this guy in really small denim shorts and a really tight white t-shirt, and it's Roy McGrath, and he said, "Excuse me, have you got the time?" And I sort of had my fag hanging out of my mouth and looked at the clock, and I was like, "There's a clock right there." And he was like, he was like, "I've lived here all these years and I didn't realise that." So,
oh my
there we
God.
go. So that is my Roy McGrath story. But yes, Roy McGrath was regular on the show. He lasted until the end of it, I think.
Yeah.
So
I
he
don't
was the
think Gary
longest
Lineker was
running.
on it to the end, but it
No,
was just. Even though I was only really into football for the only sport at this point, I still thought it was brilliant to have things like, the blindfold round where they had to guess for celebrity, for sporting
yeah,
celebrity. God, I can't even think of the others. Obviously, it was just like questions, wasn't it? And then showing sports clips and stuff like that. It was basically just like question of sport, but funnier.
yeah, and it very much tapped into the whole lad mag vibe.
Before that took off, though,
Yeah.
before that really
Oh yeah,
took
true.
off.
It was, because that sort of took off in '97ish, didn't it? The lad mag. So
Yeah, like 96, 96.
mm,
Well, yeah, so like only about it was about a year or so ahead of its time.
yeah.
But I just thought it was really good. And the thing is, what worked about that show is they weren't bothered if they looked like idiots. They were like, oh, if he said
Yeah.
something stupid, they'd be like, oh, whatever. There was never any sulking. It wasn't like the infamous episodes of Nevermind the Buzzcocks with like Preston from Ordinary Boys stomping off and stuff. You just went, yeah, all right, I'm being a dickhead. I didn't know that answer. And it'd be like, you could tell they were mates and got on. And I think that's what sort of made it work so well.
Yeah,
Yeah, brilliant
I
choice
agree.
that. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that we mentioned that. Loved it.
And then we're on the oh god, I've lost it. 24th of September on BBC One again. It was Pride and Prejudice, the TV series, the adaptation of the Jane Austen novels.
Is this Colin Firth one?
This is the one with Colin Firth. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
That's when he
The one
plays
that
Mr.
always
Darcy.
sells.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, that was that. I didn't watch it.
No, not my cup of tea.
Wasn't my best, even though I liked stuff that was historical and drama. Yeah, I did not watch that for some reason. So then we have on the BBC Two, the 22nd November, we have Shooting Stars.
Yes. Okay. Now I didn't watch this from the start, but after about probably about 96, maybe 97, because I was going out with someone who really, really liked Vic and Bob. Yeah, got dragged along for a ride.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. So this originally launched as a pilot in 1993, which had Jonathan Ross and Danny Baker as the team captains, with Bob and Vic as the presenters. And it did one episode, and then 2 years later, it got turned into a series which had Mark Lamar and Noriko Johnson as the two team captains, and George Dawes and Matt Lucas as the scorekeeper.
I can't believe it took that long though to get around to doing it. That's absolutely crazy. But yeah, it's just obviously just so daft, and obviously anything Vic and Bob did, I don't know. Like, I don't know why it took me so long to actually start watching it. But you watch clips of it now, and it's still so funny.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is absolutely hilarious. Though there is one where Bob does blackface.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. You're like, oh,
you
Bob,
can get.
why, Bob? But yes, that show was absolutely fantastic. It ran for a long time as well.
Yeah, and then it came back. What was it,
Yeah.
about 2010? Maybe a bit
Yeah.
later, because when we had Angelos. Because even when it came back, it was still quite funny.
Yeah,
And again, they brought Ulrika back for that as well, didn't they?
they did. Yeah.
But
They
yeah,
did indeed.
just brilliant,
Yeah,
fantastic.
absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Some of the main panelists that were on it, though, you had oh god, Johnny Vegas was on it quite a lot, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And I remember Robbie Williams being on it.
I
Yeah.
can't recall.
Carell
All I know
Vorderman
is it
on
was
quite a few
always
times. Jarvis Cocker as well. Zoe Ball.
because he had like a lot of comedians, but it was like, because remember this time he had a lot of stand up going on, didn't you? Because even Johnny Vegas wasn't doing TV shows so much at the time.
No.
It wasn't like like Ideal and things like that. It was just like stand up comedy. So yeah, but yeah, it was great. And again, you could see that they were mates with people like Mark Lamar and stuff. So they'd be like going, right, okay, and Ulrika, yeah, we know what jokes are coming. And even if it was like, all right, it's a little bit of gentle ribbing sometimes, with some of the jokes, but the fact that everyone would just be up for it,
Yeah.
again,
It was
like the think it's
stupid
all over
and
of
stuff
its
like
time.
that. Yeah, it was stupid,
Yeah.
but it was just it was funny and it was clever at it as well. But yeah, let's move on then to video games. September 1995. We'll start first then with Command and Conquer on the PC. So this game obviously is a real-time strategy game from the same people who made the earlier game Dune. It's Westwood, isn't it?
Yeah, Westwood Studios. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I absolutely adored this game. This was one of the games I got to play on PC because I just absolutely could not get enough of this when I played at a friend's house. So I had to
It's
definitely,
amazing.
yeah.
It, and this really was one of the first, because I never played June 2 on Amiga, which obviously was like, an early RTS type game. But
Yeah.
then with the first Command and Conquer, it was just trying to do things differently, try to keep bad guys away while you build up your base and everything like that. But yeah,
There's all
brilliant.
sorts
I
of
still love playing
hammering
it.
and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the music as well. It really, really good music and soundtrack. It's,
Terrible
yeah,
F&V
absolutely
videos.
fantastic.
Yeah, cheesy as anything F&V videos. I
Yes.
think Red Alert 2 is probably my favourite of the series, though.
Was that the one with? I'm trying to think because sometimes I get mixed up with like Red Alert 1 because I remember things like obviously the Tesla towers were in Red Alert 1, but I can't remember like when Tesla tanks came in, which were like
That was
portable
2.
ones. And
Yeah, that was
okay,
2.
right, wow, I actually played that then.
They had
Then after that, I was done.
the troops, like the troops with the jetpacks and stuff were in 2 as well.
Yeah, and also you have things like the dogs as well, didn't you? In
Yeah,
the Red Alert games, but yeah, that original Command and Conquer still really, really good.
it is.
You know.
And it got ported to PlayStation, Saturn, and later Nintendo 64.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
way after anyone gave a shit, it was put on N64. Then we had Comic Zone on the Sega Mega Drive, which was from Mark Cerny's Sega Technical Institute in America, which was the comic book game where you would go through panels of a comic book. Very clever, but very, very hard. I could not
I
get
was
past
just
the
about to
second
say
level.
that.
Yeah,
I don't think I've got nowhere on it at all, and it's a shame. It looks stunning. It was obviously a highly rated late Mega Drive game, and again
yeah,
being a bit of a beat 'em up. And I love the idea, like you say, punching your way into the next square because you're playing a comic book artist who you get sucked into the comic book, don't you?
you do. Yeah,
Obviously, you
yeah.
must do. But yeah, then obviously you're trying to kill the main bad guy, but. I just awful at it. It's hard.
I was. Well, I
So
couldn't, like I say, I couldn't get past second level. Like I just couldn't. It was just so hard. Um, but now we should probably move on to the main thing that was released in September 1995, and that was the Sony PlayStation, which launched on the
do you mean the
29th.
Nintendo PlayStation?
No, the Sony PlayStation, because we know what happened.
What? No.
So anyway,
I know.
Sony launched the PlayStation here in Europe on the 29th of September, launching with an impressive amount of games, to be honest. 3D Lemmings, Air Combat, Rapid Reload, Jumping Flash, Keelik the Blood, Battle Arena Toshinden, Ridge Racer, Nova Storm, Wipeout, and Rayman.
What's Nova Storm?
I don't know.
I know all
I
the
didn't,
others.
yeah, that's the one that I didn't know at the
Yeah,
launch
okay.
time. And I couldn't find much about it online either, so I just didn't bother. But yes, the PlayStation was launched, and yeah, it was huge.
It
And it
really, really
just
was.
it's amazing. We did a podcast a couple of weeks ago about PlayStation. We have another one which comes out hopefully on Monday the 29th as well, so we'll cover more there. But we can just touch on the launch. 3D Lemmings was actually, I thought, okay at the time, but having played it recently, it's very choppy and not a lot of fun.
Look, you just need the original couple of Lemmings games. That's it. Trying to do something
The
different.
PSP and the
No.
PS3 one's pretty good of Lemmings. I would say that.
Again, I didn't bother with them because for me, Lemmings will always be Amiga and ST. You know,
I think
those
I
original
think Team
releases.
17 made the PSP and PS3 one.
Okay,
I think.
but yeah, nah.
But yeah, Air Combat was a really cool, which is now known as Ace Combat, which is a really cool dogfighting simulation.
Yeah, but say long running series.
Yeah. Rapid Reload, which is a 2D side-scrolling Gunstar Heroes kind of vein.
Yeah, and it got really, really, really shit reviews because no one
But
wants to
it's
play
not
2D.
shit. Yeah,
I
but
know
not
it's not
shit
shit. It's called Gunner's Heaven in
in
Japan.
Japan. Yeah.
But yeah, I've played this fairly recently. Because again, when you're buying a new shiny console, that's the big selling point is 3D. You don't want the 2D games. Like we talked about Suikoden quite a lot, us two. And
Yeah.
you're missing like a lot of good games. But yeah, it's good. And again, now that's why it costs like not stupid money, but same with I know later on, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania. Everyone went, oh, 2D. No, this is shit. And now
Which
it costs a
famously
lot
got
of
a
money.
7 in the official PlayStation magazine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think Rapid Reload only got like, I'm sure it was on like 3 out of 10 or something really low.
It's really good. It's really good. Jumping Flash.
Jumping Flash.
Is a fantastic 3D platformer. But in the first
I've never got on with it.
Have you not? Oh man, it's
No,
so good.
no. I've played it with the you know, when we did the PlayStation Classic. So I tried it again, you know, a few years ago, but no, never. I know they did 2 of these Jumping Flash games, didn't
Yeah,
they?
and they're both
That's
really
it.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really like both of them. Killing of Blood, I haven't played.
never played it. I know it's got a
Battle Arena,
robot on the cover, I think.
yeah. Battle Arena Toshinden is a kind of shitty 3D fighting game. I scoffed.
It did
this.
the job. Just to start you off, it did the job, and they did a few of these games. It's not terrible, but it's not good either. This is what you call middle of the road fighting. You know.
Until Tekken came, it was
Yeah, exactly.
dark days for the PlayStation. Ridge Racer, obviously, an fantastic game, not arcade perfect. We all know that before Martin Hinson comments about it, but it is an absolutely brilliant game, and I still have fun with it to this day. I've been playing the PS5 Ridge Racer Arcade Archives
Yeah.
recently, and the arcade version is much harder than the PS1 version. Much harder. Nova Storm again. We didn't really know anything about that. Wipeout. I mean, that was like I joke. Obviously, it's one of my favorite gaming series of all time, and definitely holds a really
brilliant
special place in my heart. I absolutely loved it. It was so hard to begin with, but I played it so much that I actually got really good at it. And yeah, you just had to learn where the hit detection was, or the collision detection. You just need to learn those corners to make sure you didn't take them a bit wider than what you needed to. And then Rayman, which I thought was an absolutely fantastic 2D platformer.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, obviously, it had already been released on Jaguar, I think, at that point, because it was going to be a Jaguar exclusive, I think it was, originally. It's what?
One would have bought that.
Yeah, I just feel like, even though it was 2D, it looked fantastic.
It looks amazing. I mean, if you put that against, say, Yoshi's Island, it looked better than that, and Yoshi's Island was probably the best looking 16-bit game.
Yeah, and it's a character still known. I know they don't do well, I can't remember the last Rayman game, but you know, they were going for which one?
Legends, and there was one
what year was that?
2015, 2016, something like that.
Yeah. Oh well, I'd say 20 years of Rayman, not bad.
There was one on Apple Arcade as well, like Rayman on that, which I think was only a few years ago, which is actually quite good.
Okay.
for a touchscreen game. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
games for the month. But obviously, there's going to be loads more PlayStation conversation on the next episode. This episode will go live the day after we record
Okay.
this, and then on the 29th we will have the next PlayStation where we tie a bow on PlayStation. So let's move on to the news then. For the UK on the 2nd of September, Frank Bruno, who we spoke about last month, wins the WBC World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he would have been knocking on a bit there in 1995.
Yeah, because he'd been around since the 80s, late
Yeah.
80s, maybe.
Early, because I remember like being a kid and watching him fight and I was living in Cambridge then. I moved late 80s to Hampshire.
Okay.
Yeah, so on the 27th of September, the BBC begins digital audio broadcasting from the Crystal Palace transmitting station. So this is what we have today, is the digital audio broadcasts.
Okay. 30
Or
years ago now. Wow.
as it's known. But yes, that was 30 years ago when they started. Wow. So we'll have a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the year 2005.
Hello, citizens of Europe. As spokesperson for SAPS, the Society Against PlayStation, I'd like to talk to you about a menace threatening humanity. I'm talking about this. It may look like a harmless bagel toaster, but inside is a deadly donut. How do you know PlayStation is not a normal game system? These are the telltale signs. Scientists say its effects are mind-boggling. Here we have a normal, healthy young man. And here we have a fellow who's been experimenting with PlayStation for only a few minutes. Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
Hello and welcome back to the year 2005. Paul, 2005. Can you add a man?
20 years ago now. This is
20
this is
years.
quite surprising. It doesn't feel 20 years ago, but I think I've been noticing how fast these years are going now. And looking at the list of what we're about to discuss, I don't know. I'm starting to recognise quite a few, and films I've enjoyed as well. So let's get straight into films.
Let's get straight into the movies, Paul. Let's start with the 40-year-old virgin, something neither of us would have experienced because we're both dads.
Yeah, I know. I love this film. I really, really do.
Very funny. It is very funny. I think Paul Rudd's character in it is fantastic.
I can't wait to be able to show this to my kids because it's probably dated horribly by then. But there's just, and again, when you say Paul Rudd, there's a bit where he's gone round to Steve Carell's house and just given him his box of porn.
Yeah.
And then he goes, when he kicks him out, he goes, "Oh, honestly, Andy, stop giving me your big stack of porn, you weirdo." And I don't know why, but that line makes me laugh. And obviously, the waxing, the fact that after years working in retail, that any of the because Andy, Steve Carell's character, who is the 40-year-old virgin, and his gang of workmates, Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, and a couple of others. It's sort of like just showing like the whole dealing with customers as well, like which is like they're obviously working in just an electronics store, really, aren't they? Because there's just a bit where he's losing his mind to his boss about Michael McDonald being on TV again, and then it shows that other part where they're smashing those light tubes against each other in the back of the stairs.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I
like it. It's funny.
The bit where he's flirting with can't remember what's the actress.
Oh, what one he actually goes out with, or is it just someone on the speed dating bit?
Yeah, when he goes into the bookshop.
Oh God, yeah,
and that flirting is just hilarious.
Yeah, no, I really, really like this. It's I don't. It's probably starting to date a little bit now, but
You haven't watched
also
Carrie, have you?
I what, because she makes him sell all the toys and everything.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
not toys, so action figures. This is worth this much. I was just about to say that. But yeah, it's good, isn't it? Because he obviously loses his mind a bit trying to get, when he's having to get rid of stuff and things. But no, I think it's really good. It's one that I've got in my collection, definitely.
Yeah, it is a funny movie. It really is.
Next
But
up is
yes,
Red Eye,
Red Eye.
though.
Yes.
I've watched this once. So this was Cillian Murphy and Rachel Adams, McAdams, is it
McAdams.
Adams?
Yeah. And
And again,
Brian Cox is in it. But it's a Wes Craven movie, which is why I thought of
yeah,
you.
yeah, it's not great, because it's obviously all just set on a plane.
No,
Uh,
but Cillian Murphy is fantastic in it.
oh yeah. I mean, this is the same year that he's done Batman, so
Yeah.
he's having a couple of good roles as villains.
Yeah.
Or maybe not villain in Red Eye, just making sure I could just spoiling a 20-year-old film. It's not great. It's it's even had a 4K release fairly recently, which really surprised me. It just seems like we put any old shit out though. It's just a very average film. You might find it on ITV4 at some point, but yeah.
Um,
No,
yeah.
I
I mean,
don't put it. I've never
I
wanted
thought
to
it was
watch it
decent.
again. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was a decent thriller, though. I did think it was a
yeah.
decent thriller. And like I say, I thought Cillian Murphy was absolutely brilliant, and I could watch him all day long. So
Next,
let's move on to
Green
Green
Street.
Street. This movie is so shit. I can't believe I watched it multiple times.
And they've done a
Um,
few of these, I think. Have they done
oh,
two,
I gave up
maybe
after the
three?
first one. But Green Street. So this is a football hooligan movie starring Elijah Wood and Charlie Hunnam.
Oh God.
Um, now, Elijah Wood is playing an American visiting, and he's
Is he
going
a
out
West
with a
Ham
girl.
fan in it? Or
No,
something
they're
like
not.
that.
They don't actually use real teams, do they? They just
Oh
call
right,
themselves.
okay.
Like they wear the colours, but they don't actually say the names, because that would bring like the football association, the clubs would probably sue of the movie for that sort of thing. But Charlie Hunnam plays one of the lead hooligans for one of these gangs of thugs,
Yeah.
and he's English, but he can't do a Cockney accent for love nor money. It's the worst Cockney accent since Dick Van Dyke. Like it's so utterly awful. And you're like, I bet you Elijah Wood could do a better Cockney accent than you. But then I remember I watched Sons of Anarchy, and I think his accents in that are terrible as well. Like I think that Charlie Hunnam can only do a good accent when he's doing his own Geordie accent, and that is it.
I have watched this, but I can't remember anything about it, and I just rented it out. It's not the type of film that I'm asked about, things like football hooliganism, like when we talked about ID and, Firm and stuff like that, because I know we touched on the Firm before,
Yeah.
and it's just not really my thing,
No.
this.
It's worth watching if you want to have a laugh at how shit Charlie Hunnam's
Oh
Cockney
no, like I
accent is.
say, seen it, but it's not something that I'd ever
I
watch
was
again or
talking
remember
to
anything by.
listeners.
Oh, to listeners, sorry. There we go. Sorry, listeners.
Yeah, it's okay. Paul just forgets you're there.
I know.
And just
I just started
yeah.
talking about films.
So the next one then, The Longest Yard, which is a remake of the
The Reynolds one.
Mean Machine, the
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds movie.
Yes.
And then again, it was Mean Machine with Vinnie Jones a few years before this one.
Yes.
So yes, The Longest Yard, it does actually have Burt Reynolds in it in the movie as like a nod. But it's about a American footballer who's played by Adam Sandler, very believable, that he would be an American football quarterback. And he goes to prison for drink driving. And while he's in there, he tries to get people to play American football, to have a game against the guards, that sort of thing. Most of the guards are played by WWE wrestlers.
And that's why I watched it, because Kevin
Yeah.
Nash is in it.
And what's his face is in it, isn't he? Nelly, with a plaster on his face.
Ah, yes.
I noticed. I
Yeah.
saw a picture of him recently, and he doesn't have the plaster anymore. So that
Obviously, it's in disguise.
So yes, this is that movie. It's watchable if you've got nothing else to do with your life.
This is right. Look, this is the type of film. You're in a hotel room. You've got the 3 view channels in a Premier Inn or something like that, and you've got a couple of beers, or you've had a couple of beers. You've gone back to your room. You're flicking through the channels, and it's on ITV 3 or 4, and you just go, "Yeah, go on. I'll watch this."
I'll fall asleep to this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, not terrible, just not great. I'd rather watch this than bloody Green Street.
Yeah, I would too.
Right, let's crack on, because about another 30 films,
Must Love
I think.
Dogs.
Is this Uma Thurman and, oh God, John Cusack?
It's John Cusack.
No.
I don't think it's Uma Thurman though.
All right, okay. Now, so I was thinking of Truth About Cats and Dogs with her
Yes,
in, I think.
with Ben, what's his face from?
Oh, Chaplin.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Yes. Now,
Yes,
I have
this is
seen Must Love
I
Dogs,
haven't
because I
seen
like, what's it called? I like John Cusack.
Yeah, me too. I love John
Yes.
Cusack, but I haven't seen this one. It's one of the few John Cusack movies I haven't
Yeah.
seen.
I couldn't tell you anything about it.
No, I can't.
I know it's dating and we must love
Diane
dogs.
Lane is in it as well.
Okay. Yeah, just looking now at the cover. Yeah.
Okay, next up, Pride and
Move on.
Prejudice, the movie.
Nope, never going to watch that.
Me either.
Again, though,
Okay.
Pride and Prejudice again, 10 years on.
I know. And then we've got Wolf Creek.
I've watched this, but I can't remember much about it. They did do a few Wolf Creek films, basically set in Australia, out in the outback, with a serial killer. I can't even think what he's called in it. And he's obviously killing hitchhikers. They did do a TV series of it. So I think it was 3 films of a TV series. Just, again, I watched it when it came out, but I've never watched it since. We get asked for it at times, but I just go, oh yeah, that used to be a thing. But yeah.
Yeah, I've
horror out there.
I've never watched it, so and it's not something I can talk about. Next up, Howl's Moving Castle.
Never watch this because I can't watch
Oh, my
Studio
goodness.
Ghibli because they make me cry after watching Grave of the Fireflies. And after that, I promised never to watch another one. But I did break my promise to myself by watching Kiki's Delivery Service a few years after.
Oh, mate, it's so good. So Howl's Moving Castle is this woman, young girl, gets into a woman, and she goes and lives on Howl's Castle, which moves. And yeah, it's about her basically finding her, like losing her vanity, sort of thing. It's that sort of story,
Okay.
But it's fantastic. It's so beautifully animated. I think I haven't seen it in English. I've only ever seen the Japanese with subtitles. But apparently Christian Bale plays Howl in the English one, but I've not seen that, so I don't know how his voice acting is in it. But it is absolutely brilliant. I thoroughly recommend it to you, Paul. So next up, Land of the Dead, Paul. Here we go. Off you go.
Yes, I went to the cinema to watch this. So with Land of the Dead, Dennis Hopper in it, and John Leguizamo, I think, is in it. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have got a small cameo as chained up zombies.
Cool.
Because I remember reading in Fangoria magazine how happy they were to be working with George A. Romero. So obviously this was the 4th Dead film, many years after. It's 30. Hang on, mate. No, it's 20 years after the last one, Day of the Dead. So it was like a big deal where everything's just gone to shit. And then you've still got the rich who are living in big penthouses and everything's great for them. And we've got people working for them, bringing them petrol and, they have all the good living where everyone else is living in squalor. Imagine that, eh? Yeah. Anyway, so there's a message there. So yeah, it's not bad. It's a lot better than the one after it called Survival of the Dead, which was they did Diary of the Dead after this, which wasn't as good. And then I think it was Survival of the Dead. But the Land of the Dead, yeah, worth a watch. It is. It's worth a watch. I think it's because it's so much better than the two that followed it. But it's never going to be up there with, say, Dawn of the Dead. But
Dawn of the Dead.
again, I've not watched this for about 15 years now.
Right.
Moving on, we've got
Moving
two
on.
really good ones here, and I've only ever watched each of them once.
So, A History of
Go for
Violence. Cronenberg doing an adaptation of a DC graphic novel with Viggo Mortensen and the role.
Yeah.
Fantastic thriller.
I don't remember much about it, but I watched it because it was Cronenberg.
Yeah. But it's Cronenberg not doing
horror. He's not doing body horror. He's just doing.
He's doing more something that's
film.
more akin to that sort of thriller. It's not anything like Precinct 13, but it's that sort of tension that's in this movie. Precinct 13. Also, Precinct 13 is such a great movie.
Yes,
that is Cronenberg, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Is it not?
I was like, no.
Oh no, that's John Carpenter.
I know. It's all right.
I got my
no. But you've still got that sort of same vibe. So your point still stands.
Just wrong director.
So, yeah, I know. Yeah, but that's just it, because at the end of the day, it's like Carpenter's done horror, but then he's also done the thrillers, and Cronenberg's done horror, and he's also done the thrillers. Like we mentioned, Dead Ringers in the past, which isn't exactly horror. So he does come out of his comfort zone at times, and I think that's like one of the hits, this History of Violence. And again, Viggo Mortensen being known for a really good role, because I don't think I'd really come across him at that time.
Did you not watch Lord of the Rings?
Oh God, yeah, fucking hell! Now it's me being daft. Yeah, but as a leading man, he's not like the leading Lord of the Rings, so is it? No, he's still like a big character in.
Like at the end, he becomes the king.
Lord of a what? Lord of a what? The Rings? Do you mean Harry Potter?
The best, and again, I know I've said this before about other movies that he's been in, but Ed Harris is the best thing in this movie.
Yeah, again, I don't remember enough about it, on this. This is the type of thing that I've seen when I'm just going charity shops or whatever, and I just go, I'm never going to watch it again or whatever, or it'll take me forever because I've always got other stuff to be watching. But it doesn't get mentioned very often at all.
No, it doesn't.
Like the next film doesn't either. It's a weird month. This it's a really weird month.
And what does Four Brothers have to do with what happened in 1995?
I couldn't tell you.
No, it's a John Singleton movie.
Oh, right. Is it really? Wow, this is one I've actually watched then. Right. So this is like Mark Wahlberg, isn't it? And
it is, and Tyrese, and Andre, what's his face from The Outcast.
Well, it's not Andre 2000. Say the name. It's Andre 3000. Sorry, this is going to go over your head unless you watched Key and Peele.
But yes, Four Brothers is so again, it's another drama, but a bit more action in this one than in his previous movies. Actually, saying that, he did direct Shaft between the.
Yeah. Again, this is one that I could do that I do want to watch again, because we've had this in work recently, and I seem to remember enjoying this a lot. There's just like a load of films that I was like, yeah, this is great, but then like I never watched it a second time. Another one was, oh my God, I can't think what's it. Kevin Bacon's in it, and Tim Robbins. It's what?
I said
no,
Footloose.
No, but it's Kevin Bacon and Tim Robbins, and it's the director's Clint Eastwood. Oh God,
Oh, yes.
begins with M, I think.
I can't think. Anyway, we should probably move
Anyway,
on.
sorry, I know. Yes, let's move on. Yes.
So the next movie is Goal or
No,
Gone.
never going to bother about this. Any of the three of them, because remember it was telling a story about some fucking kid who did well at football, got signed by Madrid and everything. It was just a massive tie-in,
Well,
and I
the
remember
first one.
Beckham being one of them.
No. That was the second one. The first movie he signs
Oh,
for
was it?
United.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah. And Zidane and Shearer make cameos as themselves in the movie.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, I've seen the first one
Seriously, it just
because
sounds shit.
I was still living in Newcastle at the time. Oh no, I wasn't. I just moved back. I went and I did watch it, but yes,
Right.
I didn't enjoy it.
No.
It was absolutely terrible. But the actual football scenes in it were good. Yeah, which is
Okay.
rare, you know. But yes. So next one then, Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo. Let's move on to music.
Yeah, I'm
So
not even talking about that. I have seen it, but shit.
three
Go
number
on.
ones for this month. The first one being The Importance of Being Idle, Oasis.
A good later Oasis track, because there's not much alike from 2000 onwards, but I think that one's really good. And it's got re-siphons in the video, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we've got Dare from Gorillaz.
I don't love Gorillas, but I think it's a decent track.
I like Gorillaz. I think they're pretty cool. I quite well. I don't anymore. I think they had two good albums and then weren't really for me after that. Next we got Don't Ya by the Pussycat Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to talk about
No.
that?
No.
Albums, Bad Day by Daniel Powter is still one.
God's sake.
And then Don't Ya by the Pussycat Dolls is number one for
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It just shows how crap music was going then. I mean, fucking
I
Daniel
know.
Powter. Still number one. Oh, I've given you
Yeah.
Daniel Powter album. I really like that track Bad Day. Oh, it's like, you boring fucker. No, get out. Just channeling my fucking biggest Jack Black in High Fidelity. You know, it's just like,
You,
oh god.
you didn't like it. You didn't like it
No,
then.
absolutely shit. Absolutely shit. Although, do you know what? It'll be Sod's Law. This episode will go out and go, oh yeah, I'm now on tour celebrating with 20 years since my album Bad Day and other hits.
I thought you were going to say
Couldn't
it's
tell you
just
one.
your luck that he'll listen to this episode.
Oh god.
That is honestly what I thought you
Anyway,
were going to say.
TV.
TV. Let's move on to TV. BBC One, 6th of September. We have the TV series starting, which is a
Was that
supernatural
with?
Patricia
Was it not?
Rocket.
Yeah. I tried to watch this, but I never really got into it.
I watched the first season and really enjoyed it, but then I don't know why I didn't get back to it. The composer of the TV series was Sean Callery, the X-Files composer.
I knew there was a link, and I think that's what sort of got me into it, because X-Files was finishing around here, or just finished.
Yeah.
Getting towards the end of the run, because it obviously did the original 9 series. So I was like, oh yeah, and then we've talked about things like Millennium before. So this sort of thing, I liked the sound of, but I don't think I stuck with it at all.
Yeah. It's I thought it was like the first series was good, like I say, but I didn't watch it after that for some reason. I have no idea why I didn't go back to it. Next up then on BBC Three, on the 20th was Titty Bang Bang. The
Never
comedy
watched
sketch
this.
show. So it was a female all-female comedy sketch show. There were some men in it, but it was on the whole it was a mostly a female thing. But it was created by Bob Mortimer and Jill Parker. So very funny. I don't think it ran very long though. But yeah, it's some very good comedy in there. I would recommend people try and watch that if they can, if it's on iPlayer or something. I don't know. Then we have on the 29th of September on ITV, Mike Bassett Manager, which was the follow-up TV series to the movie, which was what, 2000, of Mike Bassett in the Manager, or
Yeah, about
2002, something like that. Yeah. So this was him getting in club football.
that.
I
No,
haven't
not
watched it.
not no.
As
No,
much
not
as
that thing.
I love him. I haven't watched Mike Bassett.
Because basically, you've got to like that character, and obviously,
Yes.
we've already had the film, so you've got to be bothered about what that character does next. And if you're not, you
So,
know, yeah,
so let's move on to the games, and
yes,
it's
hey,
actually it's a big month again for games in September
Jesus Christ.
1995. So we'll kick off then. First of all, Rainbow Six Lockdown, PS2, GameCube. This was a massive step back from Rainbow Six 3 on the Xbox. Nowhere near as good at all. Didn't like this one. Far Cry Instincts, which was a port of Far Cry, came out on Xbox, but was slightly different. Fahrenheit, or Indigo Prophecy, as people know it in America, on PS2, PC, and Xbox. Are you
A
still looking
game I
at
still no, a game still I own it still, and I always think, oh, I need to play it. I need to play it because it looked so good and it got really
it?
good reviews, but still
Yeah,
not played it.
it's a game that I think is up its own arse.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I can imagine
yeah.
that.
GameCube got a release of Tak, the Great Juju Challenge. If anyone remembers, that's a
Just a
little
platformer,
caveman.
though, isn't it? Type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Burnout
nothing
Revenge,
special.
on PS2 and Xbox, which was the fourth of the Burnout series.
I still quite liked it, but it wasn't as good as Takedown. But it
No,
did have I think it was like called Road Rage, because then you'd just be basically shunting
yes,
cars,
I did. Did that, yeah.
just on both sides. It was all right, but again, I bought that on Xbox a few weeks ago. No, a couple of months ago now for £3 from CEX.
Well worth it. It's a fantastic game. I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
enjoyed it.
just
The
not as good
Xbox
as
3,
Takedown.
the one that came out, I think it was probably in 2006. 2000, yeah, it would have been 2006, was the Xbox 360 version of it. Burnout
Yes,
Revenge. That's
yeah.
the first version. It's fantastic. But launching on the 1st of September, we have the PSP. Sony's first foray into handheld gaming in Europe. So
Yeah.
PSP launching, and boy oh boy, I got my PSP originally from America. I bought an American import a few months prior, like March or something, when it released over there, and I ended up getting a second one on the day that it launched on my desk when I got into the office in the morning when I was working at Sony, as they gave us all who had worked on Medieval a
Yeah.
free PSP, which was pretty
Not
cool.
bad, is it? Bit of
Yeah,
a
that's pretty
perk.
cool. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So PSP launched then on the 1st September. Following games, this to me is one of the
Here we
best
go.
launch lineups I've ever seen in my entire. Wipeout Pure, which is still amazing. Ridge Racer, which is really good. Sorry, Martin Hinson. I know it has the turbo nitrous boost things, but it's still a good game. Ape Escape Academy, Archer McLean's Mercury, Everybody's Golf, which is still incredible. Lumines, I still love Lumines so much, and I wait for the new one. Medieval Resurrection, everyone should go buy that on PS5 and PS4 now. Metal Gear Acid, Tony Hawk's Underground 2,
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, which is actually different to, it's not the same game as the open world one that was on Xbox and PS2, GameCube, PC. This was more like the original PS1 game. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like the PS1 game?
Yes. Yeah. By Neversoft. No.
Yes.
No. Was it? Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was Neversoft, yeah. And this is much more in that vein. It's really good. I really like Spider-Man 2 on PS. NBA Street Showdown, Need for Speed Underground Rivals, NFL Street 2, Tucker Race Driver 2, Untold Legends Brotherhood of the Blade, Virtua Tennis World Tour, Colin McRae Rally 2005, Darkstalkers Chronicles, Dynasty Warriors, ugh, F1 Grand Prix, World Rally Championship, Fired Up, which is like a Twisted Metal style game. I remember we got to play that ahead of time, so it was really good. We had a lot of fun playing that multiplayer. Midnight Club 3, World Snooker Challenge, World Soccer Challenge Edition, which was what was the name of what was it called on PS2? Sony's in-house.
Total Football? No, not Total Football.
It was Total Football, yeah.
Was it Total Football?
Yeah,
Okay.
and this was that, but on PSP. And about 2 weeks after that, Burnout Legends came out on PSP, which was a compilation-ish sort of mixing together all three of the first Burnout. But not as like single games that you could choose. It was all mixed into one game. And yeah, it was very cool.
Look at that lineup. I know we've talked about the PS1 lineup, but there you've got everything. You've got some well-known Sony titles. You've got obviously first-party stuff. Then you've got well-known franchises. I'm not a fan of Metal Gear Acid. I'm not a massive fan of Metal Gear. We've talked about this before, but to see Ridge Racer, Wipeout, so you got two amazing racing games. The Ape Escape games.
As well.
Yeah. And then, like I say,
and Colin McRae.
Lumines, Everybody's Golf.
Yeah.
Archie McLean's Mercury has been sort of re-looked at recently and actually meant to be quite a really good game. Yeah.
It's actually a really good game, yeah. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is really good. I really enjoyed that port on PSP. As someone who really liked the Tony Hawk game.
I used to own that Untold Legends. I'm sure I did, because I got a PSP early 2006 because I loved the idea that it had Football Manager on it and I could play that portably. And then obviously
I bought all
later
of the
on.
Managers on PSP.
Oh yeah, they were all right. It's never going to be as good as
a
PC, but what it is. But no, looking at that, really, really good. And I think the amount of times I've been tempted to get a PSP again, like recently, because like our local indie shop got one inboxed, and I looked at it and was like, "Ooh, that'd be quite good to play." Pick up a few UMDs as well, just to show Theo as well. And even kids nowadays have got tablets and the phones and things. I think the PSP was just like the ultimate, multimedia handheld. Playing music as well. I know the downside was you needed their memory cards, didn't you? Or was that just on Vita where you needed theirs?
Yeah. You could later get so you could put micro SD cards into a Duo adapter and just use that inside a PSP. But that came a couple of years late in the site. But they were quite short-sighted. There was no digital store to begin with on PSP. And I think that was a big problem that sort of killed it. They should have had stuff that you could download from the system from the beginning.
Really? In that year, 2005? Hardly. No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it had been that popular. I know when they released it, I remember getting that PSP going at HMV. And obviously that was just all your digital only. And I don't know, I never really did anything.
They should have had movies, as well as them being on UMD, they should have had them as downloads as well. That's just my opinion.
No.
And music, because Sony are one of the biggest music labels in the world. Like, why didn't they have their own? Why didn't they even have their own music on the thing?
Like, but the thing is, it took another 5 years almost for Sony to get their act together in the PS3 era when they really started pushing for online gaming. Because remember, obviously, it's Microsoft that took the first big, fuck you, this is how it's done. It was only like on PS3 when we started going, well, what's this? Should we start putting out some downloadable only games? Because obviously we look at Xbox Live or whatever. And then you've got things like, the year, was it 2011, when the servers got hacked and everyone got like 2-3 games, for downloads and stuff like Little Big Planet stuff. So basically my point is, it took another 5 years to get going on the online side. But again, Yeah. The PSP, right? The PSP was popular because people wanted to play grown-up games. Because obviously the rival was the DS, which had been out in the UK 6 months earlier.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the PSP it did the grown-up gaming, you know. And although some games like Ridge Racer came out on DS, I don't know. It just looked. It's because again the PSP was so sleek as well. You know, it looked the part. You
Yeah.
know, it's like wow, look at this. It's all shiny and everything. Although, because remember at the time you've only got the DS with its bulky clamshell.
Yeah, it was
So
it's like 2006. Yeah.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
what you're comparing. The
But the
sleek black
PSP,
PSP versus a bulky
yeah.
silver DS.
But the first PSP, it's not as great as when you look at the PSP Slim and Light, the 2000,
Yeah,
3000. They are
yeah,
phenomenal
yeah.
pieces of hardware to look at. But if you are looking to get
Mm.
into PSP in this day and age, I would suggest you get yourself a hacked Vita with about 500 gigs of memory on a memory card and go nuts.
Yes.
That's
Let's
and
move on.
the Vita is the best way to play those games because a lot of those games, if you have a hacked Vita, you can do they like patch some of the games, so you can use twin sticks as if it's like a real version.
Yeah.
It's really good. And if they don't have that, you can natively on the hardware chain assign the stick to whatever the button is for the camera control in those games.
Cool.
But yes, if you are looking into getting PSP, anyone listening, get a hacked Vita and go nuts. It's amazing. It's what I use every day still. Right, so let's move on to news for the month. There's only one bit of news that's worth talking about on that of and England win the Ashes again.
40 years on.
Yeah, this was the big Freddie Flintoff, wasn't it? Where Freddie was just amazing.
Yeah, I remember this in the news because by this point I wasn't into cricket at all. But I think everyone knew who Freddie Flintoff was. And,
So
the papers went mad for it.
I was listening to this on. Do you remember there was like a little Sony portable radio? It had like a little area where it's like silver. Did you ever see one of those?
Not that I can recall.
So I used to have one of those, and I was traveling from Newcastle to Cambridge, and like the train fare was astronomical as I was traveling back down. So I got the coach, and it was a 15-hour coach journey. So and yeah, so I just remember I was listening to the cricket during the day on that coach journey. So I have fond memories of that, and just being like, "Oh, come on," making noise at the back of the coach, whereas everyone was there trying to sleep. I was just trying to listen to the Ashes during the day. This was, but yes. So let's move on to we're going to have a quick break, and then we're going to move on to the year 2015.
Yes, let's do it.
Nice day for a swim!
Pepperami noodles. It's pepperami, gone a bit noodles.
Okay, Paul, we're in 2015. This one shouldn't be too long because I don't know anything to do with the movie's music.
Okay,
So
well, here we go.
here we go.
Movies.
The first movie is Life.
Jake Gyllenhaal, sci-fi horror, I think. Is it?
Is it? Don't know.
Yeah, it's not the Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence one from 1999, so I'm guessing Jake
I think it would be.
Gyllenhaal. Yeah, not one that I've watched. But yeah, I'm sure it's a sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
I don't even recognise the next one unless
Missed You
it's something
Already.
you do.
No,
What is Missed
these are
You
the only
Already?
movies. Yeah, these are the only movies released in September in 2015. So music then, singles, Fight Song, Rachel Platten.
I don't even know what that is.
No, me either. What Do You Mean, Justin Bieber.
I don't know what that is.
Me either. Albums then. I Cry When I Laugh by Jess Glynne.
Okay, I know who Jess Glynne is. But it must be her first album. I can't see. I hear things like this and I go, I can't believe they've been around this long. Yeah, I just had a look at Miss You already, and I don't know it. I know we're jumping back 1 minute, but Drew Barrymore's in it, and Morwena Banks wrote it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Cool.
right. Anyway, so yeah, sorry, I was just looking then.
That's right.
Yeah.
Beauty Behind the Madness, The Weeknd.
How's the Weekend been around for this long?
I know. Then The Book of Souls, Iron Maiden. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep the Village Alive, Stereophonics.
Fucking hell. This album is awful. By this point, Stereophonics were just absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
I think they've picked up a little bit again now, but I remember listening to this and just going, no, because Stereophonics are one of those groups, like Mannix as well, another Welsh band, and it's like, oh, are you going to get like, your rock sound back a little bit more? And, for the last few Mannix albums have been awful, but this latest one was quite good. And I always have this same hope with Stereophonics, where you go, oh, here we go, please be good again. The first couple of albums, fantastic. But this, nah.
Yeah.
No, just no. Right. What a crap month. I mean, at least I've heard of Stereophonics.
Yeah. So let's move on to TV then. Channel 4 on the 13th of September. This is England 90, which is follow-up to the Shane Meadows movie, This is England, which was set in the 80s. I
can't believe that's 10 years ago now. I really enjoyed that. Because obviously, it's all acid house, rave music and everything, and seeing these characters,
grown up.
Yeah, grown up quite a bit more. I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. Next up then on Sky One, on the 30th of September, You, Me and the Apocalypse.
I didn't watch this. I know it was advertised a lot, but I never watched it.
I quite enjoyed this. So it has it has quite a few like names in it. So if you look at, so you've got Matthew Bainton, who's the main actor in this, who plays twin brothers in that. Diana Rigg is in it from the Avengers.
Yeah,
and on Her Majesty's Secret Service. You've got Pauline Quirk, Rob Lowe, and Jenna Fisher from The Office, the American Office.
Yeah.
And it's just so the world's about to end, and then the main character manages to get his way into a bunker to save, that's where humanity is going to be saved. And it's just it's actually really good. If you could watch it anywhere, I suggest you would, because the way it ends, you can definitely tell like there couldn't be a sequel.
Okay.
But it is, the twist end is really good. So I really, really enjoyed that. I don't usually like the Sky One stuff that's being made, but it's actually really good.
Okay.
So so games then. Grow Home on PS4, which was a really cool sort of Ubisoft. They've sold it now to Atari, the series. We play as a little robot, and the first one was like Grow Up. This is the first one, Grow Home. Second
then it was Grow Up, wasn't it? Yeah. I've never played these, but
you should have. If you had PS Plus at the time, you will have this.
Oh yeah. I think I have. Possibly. I was having a look at what I've got in my PS Plus library. Obviously, some of it's gone away over the years, but I seem to remember this doing really well. Review wise.
Installed on my PS4, so you should definitely. It should be there. It's a really good game. Really fun game. Let's move on though to Mad Max, which was released on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, which is an open world car game with the Batman Arkham fighting engine, made by Avalanche Studios, the people who make the Just Cause games. And it's actually really good. It's a really good open world game. Again, if you've had PS Plus for the last 10 years, you would have claimed this as a
Yes, I have. I've still not played it, but it's in my library.
It's
And
good.
it's not even meant to take that long to complete. From what
No,
I've read, like
but
12
it
to
is really
15
good,
hours.
and
Yeah.
you get to customize up your car and everything. So cool. But we'll get to the big one last, I think. We'll get to the big ones. There's two big ones,
Okay.
and we'll get to them both last. It's just three big ones. So let's go first with Tearaway Unfolded on the PS4 version, PS Vita game Tearaway, which is a charming game from Media Molecule. Probably the most unique game on Vita, and then they tried much features into the DualSense. Oh, not the DualSense, the DualShock 4. And it's actually a really cool little port. It's not as good playing it on PS4 as it was on Vita. Really made most of it. But it is highly recommended. And again, if you had PS Plus over the last 10
Yeah, I know that's still there. Because again, I always look at this and go, because when it came out on Vita, it's this type of game when it was exclusive to Vita, where I'd be like going, oh wow, that looks like the type of game you could buy a handheld for, being like, say, one of the 5 games exclusive to a console. And then obviously when you start coming out under the other PS4, I'd be like, oh, I'll play it now. And again, still haven't. I remember when we've done Maximum Power Up talking about it, still just haven't,
I would highly recommend playing it if you can on the PS4 if you can't play it on Vita. So next, Forza Motorsport 6 on the Xbone. This was still some way from being to the heyday of the Sport series. Forza Motorsport 7 really did bring the series back, but sadly they lost it again with recent release of it. Of the one that came out in the Series X and S and PC a few years ago. But sadly, Forza Motorsport 6 not that great, but I really like Forza Motorsport 7. I put hundreds of hours into Motorsport 7.
I can't believe you've done this many.
Yeah, well, they're not doing it anymore, are they? They shot this.
No.
Persona 4 Dancing All Night on the Vita, which is a rhythm action game based on the character Persona 4.
Not the type of thing I'd go for.
Not for me either. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 on PS4, Xbox, and PC. What a disappointment this was.
Yeah, I seem to remember getting this like a load of grief.
I had pre-ordered this and paid for it because I had to do it through and you have to pay for pre-orders. So this ended up coming to me, and I'd seen all the reviews. Please don't be that bad. I played it and it was just abysmal. It lacked everything that made Tony Hawk Pro Skater good.
The series was dead by this point, because do you remember a few years earlier when you had Tony Hawk's Ride with the actual skateboard peripheral?
Yeah, I do.
Can't even speak
sadly.
at this point. Yeah, because I remember I was working at HMV up near Bolton's football ground, and we just had all these massive skateboards and big plastic pieces of tat. And I think by this point, Tony Hawk was just on its backside, like in regards to a series, and it had to go away for a while. And obviously now we've got the remasters of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I think there's been another one since, and a brand new title, I think, in the last 10 years. No, just the remasters.
Just the remasters, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So we've gone back to basics.
Yeah. So next up, Undertale on PC. Have you played Undertale, Paul?
Never played this.
Okay, so
it's meant to be one of those sort of like indie darlings.
Yeah, it's from Toby Fox is the creator of the game. Deltarune's recently being released on modern platforms as well. But Undertale I played through on Vita, and so it's an RPG where you can choose to either fight or talk to characters, like befriend them and things. But the characters are so well written, and how you play the game really, I can't really say because it would spoil things, right? But it is just one of the most brilliant RPGs I've ever played, and and the music is fantastic as well. I would recommend this game to anyone who has any interest in like something like, say, Earthbound or something like that. That sort of
Okay.
series. But yeah, definitely. If you will have this, by the way, because it was on PS Plus one.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of things here that they've
Um,
stayed on PS Plus for a reason.
yeah.
You know,
Next up, then, Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Whew, what a game! You don't like this.
I don't like this. I did play that prequel. Was it something?
Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, I played the prequel
It's
type thing
basically a
when that
demo.
came out.
That was
Yeah,
basically the
yeah,
point of
yeah.
it.
But I didn't play this at all. It's
Oh
not my thing.
man, I love this game so much. It's just, I mean, my favorite Metal Gear to that point was Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker on the PSP,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this was Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, but like 100 times bigger and better, and with more production value. And it kept all the stupidness of Metal Gear, but added in like the most brilliant gameplay. Yeah, it just was absolutely fantastic, and the way you built your base up, and like you'd capture the right people you needed to do the right job on your base, and then or you could just go and like a cow, so you got milk on your base and stuff like that. It's it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. It kind of feels like it's missing an ending. I will say that as part of it.
yeah,
Feels like that. I don't feel like Kojima had finished this game. So it's kind of just like the end feels like it's missing something, and it feels like there's like a chapter that they didn't get the time to do
yeah,
because it kind
yeah.
of rushes. But yes, it is just an incredible game. Otherwise, the next up one, the last big one, which I think huge, and that is Super Mario Maker on the Wii U,
Yeah.
and this was just unbelievable. I spent so much time playing other people's levels, and so many people made amazing levels that would rival stuff that Nintendo would make. There's some really clever puzzles put in and things like that, and you just play. What the hell, Whereas I do it, and I just do a recreation of World 1, because it doesn't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
draw it.
It's a great
Um,
idea, this. I've only ever played it once because I only had one mate who had a Wii U, and it's not someone I saw very often. So we'd have nights playing this or the new Super Mario Brothers U. Um,
yeah,
and yeah, I think such a great idea, and this obviously what Nintendo do. They'll obviously think outside the box. Like before when we were on about the PSP versus DS, where
yeah,
obviously with it'd be the DS getting the more quirky games and stuff like that. And I know obviously the PSP later got things, but for quirky titles. But yeah, this is where Nintendo are at the best. And
yeah.
who wouldn't want to at least practice making your own levels and for budding game creators and stuff like that? So yeah,
Yeah, no,
um,
it's absolutely
a
fantastic.
nice idea.
Yeah, I love this so much. I just spend a lot of time trying to make like really intricate gameplay stuff, but it was like, this might be too clever for what I'm trying. Like, yeah, so it wasn't. I didn't get to make anything that was really good, not as good as I wanted. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's a great month for games, though. Again,
Oh no, no, it really, really
like
has been.
really,
But now
really good.
remember, we're getting close to our Christmases, aren't we?
Yeah,
And things
we
like
are.
that.
Because you remember how it'd be barren for months this year.
Oh,
Um,
I
so
know.
in the UK news, then, on the 4th of September, David Cameron announces that the UK is to provide resettlement to thousands more Syrian refugees in response to the worsening migrant crisis.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, that would not go down well
Next.
today. 8th of September, England footballer Wayne Rooney becomes the England national football team all-time leading goal scorer with 50 goals in a 2-0 win versus Switzerland, surpassing the previous
Bloody
record of
hell.
49 goals held by Sir Bobby Charlton since 1968. Although that's now been broken by Harry Kane as of 23, I think it
Yeah.
wasn't it? 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do
And
actually remember that. Yeah.
another record breaker here on the 9th of September. Queen Elizabeth II surpasses her great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria, as the United Kingdom's longest reigning.
And she got about another 8 years
Yeah,
on that.
so
I think it was, 7 years.
let's
Was it
just
2022
say
she died? Or was it
Charlie
2023?
is not getting anywhere near it.
No chance. No
No.
chance. Unless they freeze him or
Yeah.
something like that, and then
And the
see if
longer
he's
he's
still
hanging
medically
on,
alive.
the less chance William will have as well.
No, exactly.
And then
But no, fair enough.
George.
Great innings. I'm not really one for the royal fan, but I still remember the night. I was just coming out of a games event, and the Queen had died. This is over in Manchester, and all the I'm still got pictures on my phone because it was so eerie. Because all the advertising billboards, video billboards, were
Yeah.
showing Queen gone. And also, even estate agents had changed their for houses for sale graphics to pictures of a Queen. It was just odd, But people
Yeah.
were stopping in the street, like looking, at the breaking news.
It was
You
this was
know,
the thing, because I mean I'm not a royalist, so I'm the opposite. I believe that we should be a
yeah.
republic. But saying that, when she died, I was sad. I was shocked. It was like you just expected she'd always be there.
Well, up until this point, she had been there all our entire life,
Yeah,
and when you
exactly. Yeah,
look at the history, and obviously you see how, as a country, people have treated the royal family, how it's changed as well. Like when you see big royal moments, they're always covered and things like that. But again, when you've got people like our age and you had more limited TV channels, and then it would be wall-to-wall coverage of, say, Charles Diana wedding day or something like
yeah,
that. And those are the sort of things where it'd be like, oh, it's a special souvenir issue times, and
yeah.
the paper being 80 pages of this, and then on page
Well, apparently,
72 there's a war.
apparently, my mum said that I was absolutely obsessed with Diana when I was a kid. Like whenever she was on TV, I would just
Oh,
be
okay.
fawning over her.
What's your missus called?
She is called Diana. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, and she was also born the same year that they got married.
Right, fair enough.
Charles and Diana. Yeah, but apparently
Right.
I was just in awe at her in her wedding dress when I was 3, 2. No, I was 2.
Right.
Yeah, we were 2 when she got married. Yeah, so apparently I was just obsessed with her when I was a young child. Very strange.
Well,
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
made
So
it.
we've made it to the end
In
of
2
this.
hours, which I think is pretty good going, considering
I
there's a
think.
lot there.
Luckily, 2015 was quite shit for films, movies,
And
television,
music. Yeah.
music.
Yeah. I know
Yeah,
that helps.
yeah.
Well, we'll
That
see
does
what
help.
October brings when we do that next.
Well, I'm already having to start researching it. Um, so yes, hopefully you'll be Wednesday, the 24th of September, and the next episode will be out less than a week later on the 29th, which will be our final salute to PlayStation for this year. Anyway, I'm sure we'll do another one in 10 years' time. If I'm still alive. It would be eerie if someone's listening to this after I'm dead. I'll be
I
like, oh, Jesus,
know.
he actually died.
I know. There you go.
So yeah, so join us next time when we find out we let the dogs out.